Good Sunday morning and welcome to almost the end of the month of January, the start of the new year. I'm John North, your moderator this morning on Inside Tennessee, and our guests are three Knox County Schools board members. We have Patti Bounds, Evetty, Satterfield, and Virginia Babb. Much appreciate you all being on the show. A lot to talk about. So let's address one of the most significant decisions that you guys will probably make as you get ready to leave, and that is who should be the next superintendent. And two of the three of you have been on this search committee. I think it's a three-member search committee. You've been listening, you've been gathering information. Evetty, I think you're chairing that. Can you tell us where we are right now? I want to say we've got a date coming up in February that's significant.
Yes, and so our search firm, who's Tennessee School Board Associates, they will come on February 9th to tell us their recommendations for their candidate. Now, candidates can still go through the process or apply up until we recommend them. And so we have a process in place, and what's coming before the board is what are our next steps for the interviews when the candidates come into town to interview, and what does that look like. It's really important to us to have community, have the opportunity to meet the candidates, also business leaders in our community for them to meet the candidates, but ultimately it's the Board of Education's job to hire the superintendent. And so we will have a thorough interview process. I listened to what Board Member Bounds said from the last process, and there was a great input from community when they had the opportunity to do just a meet and greet or something similar to like meet the candidates. And community did show up, and so we're looking to implement that as well.
Can you give us a sense of kind of what kind of response you got? I don't know if it's combined online or in person or what have you. Like, we're talking dozens of people weighed in, 10, 5, how many?
Of that applied?
I was thinking about in terms of from the community and what they wanted to see.
I don't have. Do you have the number?
Oh, yeah. So the survey, we had over 1,000 people that did the survey. So it took their time to do the survey, and then we had a series of community events, community meetings that day that people attended. So we got good feedback, and then of course you get a lot of people that just come up to you throughout the neighborhood to say, "Hey, this is what I think."
And Virginia, if you can answer this question, how many folks did apply, and can you enlighten us in terms of, do you have a goal of like the small field of candidates from which you all want to pick?
Well, I think last I heard, and Evetty might have more details, I think we have had 18 candidates so far. And I think the goal is to really narrow it down to 3, but I think the way we talked about it at TSBA is, we really want to interview the top group of people. So should there really be 4 or 5 that really rise to the top, maybe we need to interview 4 or 5 people. So, I think we're still kind of going through that process. TSBA is really probably vetting the people that have applied so far. I think there's actually some going out and even trying to recruit maybe some other people. So, I think very soon, I think talking to Evetty would know for sure, but I think by beginning of March, we might be really knowing who our next superintendent will be.
And we're going to hear from the group that's been helping you all. Are they the ones who kind of know names? Is that correct at this point?
Who are you asking? They've sent us all. They've sent us all of the candidates and their names, and Virginia said 18. I'm not sure, but I do think it is a good number, and I think it's representative from all across the state. The last time I looked at those names, we have some locals, people that have applied, but it also has been very broad, from other areas of the country. So I think Evetty has done a tremendous job in chairing that committee. In my tenure, I've had the privilege of, being on 2 of these superintendent searches, and that's rare. And so I feel it's a real privilege to be a part of that. And I think this process has gone very smoothly this time.
And if one of y'all could answer this, do we know how many of the 18 or so that you mentioned are local in-house?
We have a number, but we do have a wide range from throughout the United States. And I will also say that was the search firm's deadline was on the 21st. However, our search firm is actively still recruiting people, so that number can explode between February 9th.
And I don't suppose you'd share any of the local names with us at this point, would you?
No, we want to. I mean, it's all public information. So if you want to submit a public record request, you can get that. But just to make sure that this process is as integrity and information as possible, the information will be shared at the time where it's needed.
Well understood, and I can't underscore enough how important this process is. This decision that you all are making is so extremely important. And remind us again, if you would, Evetty, so pick the candidate by when and have that person ready to go when?
Yeah, let me give you a clear timeline. So our search firm is presenting candidates on February 9th. We will spend this February 16th, 17th, and 18th doing the interview with the candidates. And then on February 22nd, the Board of Education will have a special call meeting and we will vote on who we as a Board of Education want to be our next leader for Knox County Schools.
And we should add that the reason for this is that Bob Thomas, who has been the superintendent for about the last 5 years, announced at the start of this school year that he planned to retire come June. He has got almost 50 years, I believe that's right, Bob, if you're watching, with the school system. So he said it was time, he thought, to retire. And one last question, and then I think we'll go to break. What's the salary we're looking at for this position? Do we know? Evetty?
Yes, so the board voted to offer a base salary of $250,000.
$250,000. Some folks at home might think that's a whole lot, but honestly, when you're running a large operation like that, that's not really that much, is it?
Not in my opinion.
I think it's about time that we will take our second break. You are watching Inside Tennessee. We appreciate you watching, and we'll be back in just a minute.